Tension rises at Canadian airports as a potential strike looms for thousands of flight attendants. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for crucial updates.
We are a family of 4 traveling with 2 kids, and yeah, we are stuck here waiting for some help and assistance if we can get to Calgary faster.
They haven't canceled our flight yet, so we're just kind of in a holding pattern now. And yeah, hopeful, absolutely.
10,000 flight attendants could walk off the job at 1 o'clock tomorrow morning Eastern Time. The company is then expected to impose a lockdown that would ground all Air Canada and Air Canada Rouge flights. The airline saying today that it is beginning a phased wind down of most of its operations to be completed over the next 2 days. That is expected to affect about 500 flights today alone.
And a lot of families heading off for a much needed and much awaited summer vacation, only without the answer of when and if and how they will be able to return home from their destination. So a lot of uncertainty at this time that isn't stopping many families that we spoke to from going on vacation, hoping the issue is resolved by the time it's time to return home. But a lot of them choosing to continue with their plans because they said it could be a domino effect if they cancel it. They've already booked non-refundable hotels, non-refundable excursions, and many of them have wedding plans. So a lot of them choosing to go ahead with those, saying that those things are a can't miss. But really, the big question is, when will they be able to return home and how? So far, looking at the departures board, Roger, we are seeing 2 long-haul international flights that are canceled, and that is one to Seoul, Korea, and the other to Tokyo. So in terms of the long list of flights that we're seeing on the departures board at this hour for Air Canada, almost all seem to be going ahead except for 2 international flights. As we know, Air Canada is doing a phased wind down, is what they call it, where several dozen flights were canceled yesterday across the country, and by the end of today they're saying 500 flights will be canceled, Roger, and that will affect roughly 100,000 customers. Fitzpatrick, Peter, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, let's look at the departures board here. We thought that we might be seeing a lot more canceled flights. So far, only 2. Why is that, and when will we see the bulk of flights being canceled?
Yeah, well, as you noted, we've said that we're going to have a phased roll down, an orderly wind down in order to give customers certainty and also to make sure we're in a position to restart the airline when it's done. So because it's on a rolling basis, the flights that we're canceling now because of the labor disruption, they're for tomorrow. So they won't be on the screens tomorrow. So, but what this really reflects is how we're trying to take a responsible approach. As you say, customers are uncertain. We know that, and we're doing our best to handle the situation.
And a little bit about the bargaining table. You told me there's limited information you can give me in terms of an update since what we heard yesterday. But we heard yesterday that the company is offering 38% in total compensation. That includes benefits. But how the union breaks it down is just over 17% when you look at actual wages and 8% increase next year, saying that still is going to put a lot of people below minimum wage. Do you think that's fair?
Well, the thing is, there's a lot of numbers and there's a lot of elements to the contract. So, I mean, the main thing is that we are offering 38% over 4 years. At the end of the term, the senior flight attendant will make $87,000 a year. This will make them the best paid in Canada. And that's important because they are the best flight attendants in Canada. They've won the Skytrax Award, and we want to recognize that. For example, one thing that they did make a real emphasis on in these contract negotiations is ground pay. So what we're offering with regards to ground pay will be the best in Canada. So, we're working to, recognize the contributions of the flight attendants as well. It has to be sustainable, what we do.
And just to remind our viewers, ground pay is what flight attendants would get paid for the responsibilities on the ground. Right now, they only get paid for the responsibilities in flight or in the air. they do not get paid for what they do before landing and or before takeoff and after landing as well. Air Canada offering 50% from what we understand, the union wanting 100%, and so that's where we leave it right now as we inch closer to 1 a.m. Saturday when roughly 10,000 or more flight attendants could walk off the job, Roger.
The coming hours are critical, with flights and travelers' plans hanging on the outcome of talks. Before you go, make sure to like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Join the conversation.